Alright people, remember to like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, and without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Battlefield 6 Update Notes 1.0.1.0. Battlefield 6 launches with patch 1.0.1.0, delivering a wide range of updates and improvements across the game made since the open beta weekends. The release reflects player feedback from the beta and ongoing playtesting from Battlefield Labs alongside our continued development efforts, addressing bugs, refining balance, and enhancing clarity throughout the entire experience. Major updates for 1.0.1.0. Movement is refined with reduced slide to jump momentum, lower jump height, and increased inaccuracy when firing while airborne or sliding. Weapon handling has been rebalanced through general recoil tuning and adjustments to ensure more consistent gunplay. Rush and breakthrough layouts revised to deliver a better balance between attackers and defenders. Maps improved with better traversal, lighting adjustments, and overall performance upgrades. UI and HUD have received a range of polish improvements for clear prompts, smoother navigation, and more accurate displays. Settings and control expanded with improvements across multiple areas. Audio overhauled game-wide with clearer pings, refined weapons and vehicle sounds, and fixes for missing or delayed effects. Netcode optimized to reduce desync, fast time to death, and instances of invisible damage. So basically, they've nerfed PC players. They made the game a lot more clear, so it's going to be a lot easier to see people, and there's going to be a lot better responsiveness. And also, I want to be a big fan of not dying around corners. Hopefully, this is true though, but we'll see. Changelog. Player, reduce the speed that can be carried from sliding into jumping, lower momentum, especially horizontal. Increase the penalty for repeated jumps and slightly lower the jump height. Increase weapon inaccuracy when firing while jumping or sliding. Adjust the parachute physics. Reduce the initial acceleration when deploying. Fix an issue where the weapon dispersion could spike far higher than intended. Fix an issue where a takedown could launch the victim into the air. Fix an issue where players could enter third-person camera while alive. Fix an issue where players could remain stuck in a down state after being revived, with defibs following a headshot. Smoother transition when aiming down sights from hipfire for better target acquisition. Fix an issue where landing animations played after very short drops or when climbing objects. Jump to landing animations have been updated to feel smoother and settle faster. Crouch stand transition animations now settle more quickly. Fix an issue where too much momentum was lost when cutting a parachute. Drag and revive can now be casted more quickly for better responsiveness, in case you get surprised by an enemy player on an enemy team. Updated parachute skydiving animations and physics for more fluid movement. Fix an issue where fall landing speed penalty triggered after very short drops or vaults. Fixed an issue where firing was blocked too long after going prone from sprinting or combat diving. Fixed an issue where weapon sights appeared misaligned after sprinting. Updated vaulting animations for medium and high obstacles. Improved first-person swimming animations. Reduced camera movement when exiting a slide. Toned down camera shake when rapidly starting and stopping sprints. Various improvements and bug fixes to melee attack and takedown animations. Various improvements and bug fixes to drag and revive animations. Improved vault detection for more reliable movement over obstacles. Vehicles. Helicopters have been given more power and responsiveness, making them easier to fly, adjust mid-flight, and survive attack runs, including better chances to dodge incoming RPGs. Increased tank turret speed. Vehicle smoke countermeasures are now more effectively at breaking spotting lock-ons. Improve the death camera experience for air vehicles. Adjusted vehicle mix for hit indicators and an updated explosion kill indicator feedback against infantry. Vehicle aiming behavior, mouse and gamepad, now more closely matches soldier aiming. Vehicle sensitivity and aiming options now use the same default ranges and values as soldier controls for consistency. Navigation terrain avoidance has been adjusted for surface-to-air missiles. Fixed an issue where a vehicle could keep showing a lock-on warning for several seconds after being hit by the MBD law, which is a rocket launcher on the engineer class. Added a visible boost bar for ground vehicles that have boost. Tanks. and transport vehicles, basically. Fix an issue with the Leopard Wreck collision so players can now climb it from behind. Improved how tank tracks and vehicle wheels interact with destructible objects for more realistic collisions. Reduce the boom effect on jet bombs, Apache, for clear visibility. Fix an issue, gadgets. Fixed an issue where some gadgets could equip unexpectedly when jumping. Fix an issue where rocket launcher backblast dealt too much damage to infantry. Only really important if you're playing hardcore game mode. Reduce rocket launchers blast damage against infantry to discourage ground blasting. So basically, only use the rocket launcher against vehicles. Rocket launcher explosion now correctly checks for walls and cover before applying damage. Removed arming time on rockets, allowing players to fire at floors, ceiling indoors to open up destruction. Thermal barrel grenade concussive effect reduced from 2.5 seconds to 1 second. I dealt with a lot of that during the beta. It was very annoying. Thermal scopes improved. Soldiers now appear colder when prone dying and hotter when sprinting. Fix an issue where a rocket launcher collision could cause double damage to vehicles. Fix smoke grenades that not detonating in some cases. Fix visual issues when firing certain rocket launchers and scopes. Fix dart hipfire crosshair no longer appearing when aimed down sights. Fix an issue where tracer dart reticle textures were missing. Fix an issue where drill charge grenade launcher reticle textures were missing. CSB IV EOD bot EOD intuition and patching improved. Remote entry gadgets. XFGM 6D CSB IV bot LTLM2 can no longer be equipped if you're out of ammo and have no active gadget deployed. Repair tool now overheats slightly faster to prevent vehicles from becoming too durable. Vehicle repair and defibrillators can now damage enemy gadgets. I would rather just shoot them, to be honest, but that's just me, or knife them. But defibrillator damage reduced on both quick zaps and charge zaps. I don't get that at all. At the end of the day, if you charge it all the way up, it should instantly kill someone. At least I think it should, but maybe I'm misinterpreting this. The M320 grenade launcher now show ammo type and count on the display. M320A1 HE vehicle damage tweaked. High explosive, that's what HE stands for. Assault ladder ramp deployment angle increased to 54, was 45%. That's going to be interesting because we didn't have access to that ladder during the beta, which shows up in the Battlefield 6 official trailer, multiplayer reveal trailer. Fix an issue where players could unintentionally unequip gadgets while jumping. I thought we just, whatever, they say things twice sometimes. Improved the throwing arc of the AT mine, anti-tank mine, yes. It now inherits the speed of the soldier throwing it and better aligns to the surface that it lands on. Updated spawn blocking interactions between ladders and wiring materials. Adjusted gameplay volume so that the assault ladder is blocked from deployment. All other gadgets can still be placed. Adjusted gameplay volume so only the assault ladder is blocked from deployment. I guess that means if there's too many assault ladders in a small area, you won't be able to deploy them. I guess I don't know what that means, to be honest. Fix an exploit where the deployable shield could be used to climb out of intended play areas. Yeah, we saw that a lot during the beta. Fix an issue for the AG0303 COAG med pen. Why not just call it a med pen? Where on-screen VFX ended too early. AT4 now uses aim-guided missiles. RPG-7V2. Adjust the sight and reticle for better aiming. Increase dispersion when aiming down sights to discourage quick scoping. Fix projectile hitting nearby cover inherently when aimed just above it. MBT Law is now the default rocket launcher for the engineer class. Missiles now follow a more accurate trajectory. Now uses auto-guided missiles. Can no longer be hip-fired. Sight and reticle updated for a clear aiming experience. And blast damage now correctly applies to vehicles. So it looks like they're basically copying how it was in Battlefield 4. Because the NBT Law was also the default rocket launcher in Battlefield 4, and everything's as how it was in that game too. The MAS 148 Glaive Missile trajectory now updated to better reflect real-world behavior. 2. Zoom levels introduced. Can now lock onto stationary weapons and vehicles. AA, tow, and heavy machine gun. Lock-on distances now changed. Now can lock onto targets closer than 40 meters. Fixed clipping and reticle issues in the scope. Blast damage now correctly applies to vehicles. Hip-fire crosshair no longer appears when aiming down sights. LEDs now correctly show lock progress, thermal setting, and zoom levels. Field of view now transitions more smoothly when zooming. SLM-93A Spire. Gadget can no longer lock onto air vehicles below radar level. Fix an issue where the missiles sometimes did not deal damage. Airburst incendiary. The projectile now detonates on collision. The projectile now discredits the correct damage owner in kill feed and cards. The projectiles deal less structural damage. More hits required to destroy facades. Makes a lot of sense because you're not firing explosive. It's just fire, basically. Gadget cannot be aimed down sights while reloading. Blast and shockwaves reduced, now aligned with destructive values. Smoke from the airburst incendiary now blocks spotting and lock-ons for soldiers and vehicles. More realistic experience. Bravo 3. Sight size no longer scales incorrectly with field of view. The SS-26. Fire damage now applies once to soldiers. Damage drop-off has been adjusted. Unlock requirement reduced from rank 1 to rank 0. I have no idea why that would even matter. That's very, very minuscule difference. Dice. But whatever. LTLM-2. No, there's no dash. LTLM-2. Portable Laser Designator. Spotting angle and maximum spotting distance in binocular mode have been made more forgiving. Can no longer laser paint the environment. Now removes laser paint marks when a vehicle enters thermal smoke. Now correctly spots the vehicles when laser painting them. Thermal view toggle now updates the UI correctly. Zoom now activates instantly and returns to previous zoom level. Deploy animation is now placed correctly. Will now rotate properly for other players when zoomed. Improve the game hint to show RMB zoom instead of ER and direct reload. Deploy beacon. Now allows only one spawn per player, 4 squad per total before self-destruct. I think that's pretty freaking lame, to be honest, but that's just my opinion. Enemy display beacons now display an icon on the map when pinged. Can now be deployed at a soldier's feet if the original location is blocked. Tugs will no longer be destroyed when their owner dies. Can now be deployed at a soldier's feet if the original location is blocked. All this is very, very good in my opinion because it gets kind of annoying placing this recon-related equipment sometimes depending on the environment. Oops. XFGM-60 Recon Drone. Oh boy, now flies faster when carrying C4, but battery drains faster as a trade-off. No longer receives unwanted force when carrying C4, making flight smoother. Movement improved for more realistic feel. The drone now self-destructs after 3 seconds when flown out of bounds. Man, that's going to be so annoying in close quarters if people are bored and have the time to do it. Supply pouch can no longer be picked up once deployed. No longer restores health to vehicles. No longer pushes players into map geometry. Now follows the same game rules as repair stations. VO ping log icon. Now it resupplies as intended and grants 1 additional C4 as overstock. Weapons. General recoil adjustment across multiple weapons. Weapon accuracy adjusted to be more stable when aiming down sights while moving, but less accurate when firing mid-jump. I don't think anyone's going to be jump shotting very much after this update, but yeah. Weapon accuracy adjusted for more stable when aiming down sights while moving. Yeah, I think that's very important because during the beta, whatever. Basically, the foregrip attachments in the game make it to where your accuracy is a lot less accurate when you're moving, but this is going to effectively make it a lot better. Numerous weapon attachments updated to appear correctly. Increased bullet spread when firing automatic weapons while aiming down sights. That sucks. That really sucks. M87A1 shotgun now requires more pellets to secure a kill, rewarding more accurate hits. I'm in favor of that. Although hipfire is going to be very, very weird. Fix an issue where the crosshair appear larger than the actual bullet spread when using shotguns with slug animations. Bolt action rifles. First shot boost now applies to every fired shot. I have no idea what that means. Added glow to a variety of reticles and improved visibility of reticles. I like that one. Reticles are kind of hard to see during the beta. All rush layouts have been updated on the feedback from the open beta. Several breakthrough layouts have been updated based on the open beta feedback. Fixed spawn killing issues on Siege of Cairo. Fixed multiple exploits on Siege of Cairo and Iberian offensive that allowed players to reach unintended areas. We saw a lot of that during the beta. Improved anti-air balance on Liberation Peak. General performance improvements to Operation Firestorm. Improved player traversal across Operation Firestorm. Adjusted lighting on Operation Firestorm to make indoor areas and certain assets brighter when they were previously too dark. Spawn animations on Operation Firestorm improved across multiple game modes and areas to improve balance effects. Respawning in squad deathmatch is now a one-button action, simplifying the process compared to two-step option in the beta. UI and HUD. Updated text and names for select weapons and gadgets for clarity. Fix an issue where lock reasons were not shown on the loadout screen. Fix character skin names not displaying correctly in the customization menu. Fix an issue where locked weapon packages didn't display attachments correctly. Fix incorrect class names showing on the insertion screen after switching class. Fix icons under player names not mentioning class types in the pregame lobby. Adjusted background color for takeover column cells. Fix option menu buttons focusing on the wrong element after selection, improving navigation smoothness. Fixed interact and reload setting options being vertically cut off. Fixed credits, auto scroll bugs, and adjusted scrolling speed. We don't care about the credits dice. Credits adjusted with a new text document, Battlefield 6 logo, and centered layout. Added a warning pop-up about XP progress lost when leaving a match via the pause menu. You hear that? Don't leave the games even if your team's getting absolutely destroyed, otherwise you're not going to level up. Resupply interaction for support soldiers now only appears when you actually need health or ammo. Navigation controls on the deployed screen and big map have been improved. Mouse navigation in the Comoros have been made smoother and more responsive. Comoros now supports southpaw control layouts. Updated the UI and animations for training paths widget. Soldier and vehicle overlays updated with improved visuals. Squad and friendly name tags now show clear visuals when you are being healed, resupplied, or revived. Fix an issue where spotting sometimes places a location ping instead of marking the enemy. That's a very good fix. Fix an issue where the inventory UI stayed visible after dying out of bounds. Vehicle hit indicators updated for better clarity. Updated visuals for vehicles tied to capturing objectives on the deployed screen. Fixed a minimap bug where geometry displayed incorrectly on top of other geometry. Fix an issue where combat zone images weren't displayed correctly on loading screens. Location and danger pings now include animations for improved awareness. Fix an issue where equipping or picking up a gadget didn't trigger the correct animation. Fix an issue where enemies ping through smoke did not properly show as a danger pings. Update of the rank visuals and iconography. Improved overall class identity, UI, signature gadget, weapon proficiency, traits, etc. C4 UI now shows how many charges you've placed and the distance to your 3 closest charges. Air vehicle resupply stations now have a clear in-world icon. Fix an issue where enemy-placed neutral gadgets could be seen through geometry. The explosives countermeasure UI now shows which enemy explosives will be intercepted on the minimap. So yeah, that's really helps if you're getting shot by multiple explosives at the same time in a vehicle. Sticky to edge icons now include an arrow indicating direction. Non-lethal grenades now use a distinct sepia tint for easier identification. Fix an issue where weapons did not rotate correctly when previewed. Fix weapon zoom increments when previewing in menus. Players can now rotate weapons while in menus. Players can now prevent attachments even from locked attachment slots. Fix a camera issue that caused it to flip when previewing flashlight or laser attachments. Improved loadout menu navigation with gamepad. Default focus refined for smoother use. Fixed an issue where cosmetics could be accessed by deleting and re-adding favorites. Fixed progress tracking for class gadgets. Added categories to loadout deep links for easier organization. Enabled stats delta change when selecting an empty attachment slot in weapon attributes. Settings. Inspect weapon option hidden on PC. Voice chat now defaults to off. Adjusted graphics quality option. Disabling auto now correctly sets performance mode to custom on PC. PC and console settings are now separate. I really like that because that was very annoying in the beta because I could not tell what was for PC and what was for console because not all the settings are very useful for everything depending on what you're playing on or playing with. Anyways, added missing flick lock threshold for keyboard and mouse. That's what I'm talking about. I did not know. I didn't think that would be very useful during the beta, but I put in my settings video anyways. But yeah, flick lock threshold setting. Yeah, that's definitely not a controller thing. VSync moved back to display settings. Added stay-on-screen functionality when equipping weapons, packages, and gadgets in customization. Service replace and customization button added on PC. Auto-hide HUD is now set as default. Fixed an issue on PlayStation 5 where the auto setting didn't select the correct channel configuration when connected to a TV, soundbar, or controller. Added a voice-over VO volume slider option. Added speaker detection feedback during boot. Tuned default master mix settings. Adjusted reverb mix for non-HUD audio settings. Added an accessibility option for a motion sickness friendly combat roll. Camera no longer rolls. Added an accessibility option to reduce camera bob while sprinting. Added a new option to adjust minimap size. Small, medium, large. Then we got Portal. Removed crossplay option from server hosting. Right. We're fixing an issue where AI soldiers in Portal were not affected by weapon loadout and restriction rules. We're getting AIs again, boys. Hopefully the game doesn't die anytime soon, otherwise we won't have to worry about them. Audio. Adjustments to incendiary and movement audio mixes. Directional ping sounds made clearer. Comoros open/close volume reduced. Tweaked parachute landing and low health breathing sounds. Tuned instant death audio mix. Adjusted gadget equipped deploy audio across the board. Friendly soldier and vehicle overlays made less visually distracting. Update interior firing sounds for heavy machine guns, coaxial LMGs, and helicopter autocannons. Indoors. Wow. I can't say that's ever going to really matter unless unless helicopters outside shooting inside. But yeah, helicopter autocannons sound indoors. I'm not sure how important that is to adjust. Added suppression audio effects for multiple reasons. Multiple weapons and reasons. Polished firing sound mixes across various weapons. Adjusted sound profiles for urban sniper rifles, urban rifles at distance, and SMGs in open fields. Fine-tuned reload and firing sounds for multiple weapons for higher fidelity. Tweaked shotgun firing sounds for amplitude, delays, and pitch. Updated shotgun audio in different environments for open field, canyon, and urban. Adjusted audibility of gadget auto-replenish sound when reloading a shotgun in the assault class secondary primary slot. Fixed an issue where Flare's audio was not deploying for the UH-79 gunner seat, the default transport helicopter. Added a unique low health fire sound for different vehicles. Fixed an issue where jet low health fire sounds continue to play after repairs. Fixed an issue where MBT driver smoke discharge audio was not playing. Fixed an issue where the MBT active protection system audio felt delayed. Fixed an issue where medium damage sound played when vehicles only took light damage. Fixed a bug where soldiers in exposed vehicle seats did not display squad overlays correctly. Fixed camera shake when firing the RWS helicopter autocannon as the pilot. Reduced loudness and adjusted low mid frequencies for jets when off screen, improving sound clarity. Reduced early reflection audio for helicopters. Adjusted the war tapes VAL weapon mix behavior. Adjusted war tapes VEL first-person weapon noise amplitude. Adjust the word tapes VAL third-person noise boost reducing volume compared to first person. Adjusted the war tapes VAL behavior for vehicle weapons. Adjusted the war tapes VAL behavior for minigun weapons. The M240L is that launcher? I don't even know. M240L reload audio improved. No, that's not it. Or actually, it might be. I don't know. Network settings changed, improved. Improved netcode to reduce cases where time to death felt too fast. Battlefield needed that, especially in 2042. Too bad we never got that. Fix an issue where players could take damage without being visibly shot. Yes. Fix an issue where health values were not updated correctly. Improved netcode to reduce cases of dying after reaching cover. Yes. Fix a netcode issue where damage feedback was delayed or only appeared after respawning. Yes. But yeah, anyways, that's all I was going to do for this part of the video. I just spent so long reading all that twice because the first video messed up for some reason. Anyways, if you guys would not mind, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you guys would like to see more Battlefield 6 content from me, as well as more update videos like this. But yeah, anyways, that's all I was going to do for me for this video.